Well, folks, I got a clip here that you need to see. And I really hate to be the guy to show it to you. But trust me, as we move in to November, you really need to see this clip, especially you ladies. Take a look.
What do you think of Nikki Haley? Did you ever consider her?
You know, what I got to say, you don't really want to put it on.
Let me hear it.
Well, a woman's not going to be a good president. She don't have no balls to scratch. She's just going to scratch her head. All a woman's good for in my book is having babies and taking care of the house, but that's the old thing, you know. But I'm old school.
So you never even considered her?
No.
Mainly because she's a woman?
Because she's female. I mean, females, don't take me wrong, females know what they're doing, but they still got to have a little bit of guidance. Trump would be the one to guide her through the
Folks, to be perfectly honest with you, I don't even know where to go from here. I really don't, because I don't have a script. I just fly these off the seat of my pants. But yeah, he believes that that's all women's good for, is just cleaning the kitchen and having babies, and he's old school. I cannot stand when guys say that. No, you're not old school. You're an asshole. You're an asshole now, you were an asshole then, and you'll be an asshole from now on as long as you walk around with that type of mentality. And notice how he said, you know, a woman she might be a woman, but she needs guidance, and Trump will be the one to guide her. Yeah, Donald Trump, a guy that brags about groping women, a guy that's been found liable of sexual abuse, and a guy who has bragged about taking away women's reproductive rights. Take a look at this clip.
But the fact that I was able to terminate Roe v. Wade after 50 years of trying, they worked for 50 years. I've never seen anything like it. They worked, and I was so honored to have done it. Well, I did something that nobody thought was possible. I got rid of Roe v. Wade. And by doing that, it put pro-lifers in a very strong negotiating position. Nobody did a job like I did, including Roe v. Wade, bringing it back to the states. What I did by killing Roe v. Wade, which everyone said was impossible.
Yeah, Trump loves to brag about overturning Roe versus Wade. He did that for you evangelicals. He did that for you Christians. But now he's like the dog that chased the car and caught it. They got what they always wanted, and now it's really starting to work against them, because now it's starting to affect a whole bunch of people. And a whole lot of people are going, oh, shit. Yeah, our rights really did get taken away. Oh, man, my daughter and my granddaughter, they don't have the same rights that my wife and my mom once had. Oh, shit, now what are we going to do? And one thing I hear people say these days more than ever is, man, people just talk about politics all the time, man. It used to not be this way, man. People used to not talk about this stuff all the time. Let me tell you something. Remember those Thanksgivings and Christmases when people started to say something and they kind of stopped? That's the kind of shit they were thinking. That's exactly what they were thinking. They just weren't necessarily saying it out loud because they hadn't been empowered to do so yet. But that type of mentality has always been around. That guy's mentality has always been around, and it always will be. And what does he care? It doesn't affect him at the moment until it's his daughter or it's his granddaughter in need. Then he may rethink his position on it. Then he may say, well, I was wrong, but it's a little too late if you wait to that point before you finally stop and look around and say, hey, wait a minute, maybe there's a problem. That type of mentality has always existed. And that's why as we head into November, what you got to realize is guys like that, with that type of mentality that's been sleeping there this entire time, it's wide awake now, and it's ready to go vote. It's energized to vote because they think you're only good for cleaning the kitchen and making babies. You need guidance, and you need Trump's guidance. I cannot imagine what it would have to be like to be that guy's girlfriend or wife, or any guy like that's girlfriend or wife who tells you that this is how you need to live, and I have to guide you because I'm the man in the situation. You ain't got no balls to scratch. You'll just scratch your head. Think about that. Think about that when you go to the polls, ladies. Just imagine how many guys are standing there going, yeah, I'm going to vote to keep these women in line. I'm going to vote because they ain't got no balls to scratch. They have made a mockery out of women forever. They make a mockery out of anything that they can, drug addiction, you name it. They'll mock it. They'll ridicule it. They'll run it to the ground. And they'll sit back and watch rights be taken away from people, and they won't care. But we have to care. And we have to realize more than ever, democracy is on the line come November. Democracy is on the line. There's no other, that's it. And when you think about the rights that have been taken away, and you think about Trump out there bragging about it, and morons like that with that mentality voting, it should inspire everybody to get up and get out and go vote. And yeah, you may not agree with Joe Biden on everything. You may not agree with Brando on everything. I promise you there's a whole lot of things that if we talked more and more and more, there's things you wouldn't agree with me on. There's things I'm not going to agree with you on. But there's one thing we should all agree on, is we have the right to a democracy. We have the right to vote how we choose. And we're not forced to live under one person's rule and under their interpretation of an ancient book. Democracy is on the line, folks. This ain't hyperbole. This is the real deal. Guys like that are inspired, and guys like that thinks Trump needs to be giving you the guidance. Just sit back and let that one sink in for a while.